Nice to meet you. I'm Yurika
Good day.
from Japan.
こんにちは。
あ、こんにちは。Thank
お元
you.
気ですか？
はい。最初に私は
Speak up, speak up.
私はI usually using Japanese, so he can.
Do you have a translator?
Yeah.
All right.
最初の2つ質問があるんですけれども、大丈夫ですか？
I have two questions. Is it all right?
Well, that was one question.
それでもうすぐ分かるよ。
So now I guess you have three. So what are the other two?
3つありますね。
私は最初リサ・ロイヤルさんの、コンタクトに行ったんですけれども、そこで、ハイブリッドセブンという存在をリサさんが話してたんですけれども、あまりよくわからないので、説明できますでしょうか。
She participated in contact retreat by Lisa Royal this summer, and in that retreat, Lisa channeled a being called Hybrid 7. But,
Yes.
But she doesn't understand that being, about that being so well. So do you have any idea what kind of being is this? Could you explain that?
Yes. The concept that is being referred to on your planet as Hybrid 7 is a recognition that eventually, as your species on Earth evolves, you're going to evolve into what we have called the sixth hybrid race. But then all of the six hybrid races, including us and the others, will merge eventually in the millennia to come into the seventh hybrid race. So Hybrid 7 is a symbolic energetic reflection of the ultimate hybridization, the ultimate evolution of what you now consider yourself to be as the human race. I will give you time to translate.
ハイブリッドっていうのは5種類いるんですけど、これ別にマイク入らなくていいよね。5種類いるんですけど、その5種類とあと6番目のハイブリッドっていうのがこれから地球がそうだね、日本人もいるし、で6番目のハイブリッドっていうのがこれからの地球のそのメインの存在になるんですよ。でそのこれまでに存在している5つのハイブリッドの種、ハイブリッドの存在と、これから未来に、生まれてくるその地球のハイブリッド、6番目のハイブリッドが一緒になって、その5つのハイブリッドと、あと6番目のハイブリッドが一緒になって、その7番目のハイブリッド種っていうのができるんですね。で、それっていうのは、そのハイブリダイゼーションプログラムって聞いたことあります？
Did I really say all that?
I'm explaining more
Yes, I know.
concretely, so that she can understand that.
Do you understand? わかりますか？
少しです。
I explained just the half of you said.
All right. Well, you can explain it in more detail later. What is your next
Okay,
question?
sure. 次の質問どう何か。
次の質問は、個人セッションの時にドラゴンのことを調べた方がいいと言われたんですけれども、西洋のドラゴンと、日本をはじめとしたアジアのドラゴンの違いっていうのは何でしょうか？
She wants to know the difference of the way, in the way, she wants to ask about the dragons. And so she wants to know the difference between how the dragons are told in the West and how the dragon is told in the East. There's a difference between the way the dragons are told.
Yes. Well, in a sense, it's a cultural interpretation.
ある意味それは文化的な意味付けの違いによります。
The idea of the dragon is a symbol of a connection to an ancient source of wisdom, an ancient source of knowledge.
ドラゴンっていうのはその古代の知恵というものを象徴している、古代の知識というものを象徴している、そういうシンボルです。
So when the energy of the dragon, which represents a higher level being, a higher level consciousness, is interpreted through physical beings on the earth, there will be filters in each culture that will interpret the symbol in the way that they need to understand it in a way that applies to their culture.
でその工事の存在をこの第三密度の世界に下ろしてくるときにそれを表すときにそのフィルターがかかるんですね。そのフィルターっていうのはその文化的にそれぞれのフィルターっていうのは違っているのでその西洋のフィルターだったら西洋の文化的なフィルターの色付けによってその工事の存在が、形作られるしで東洋だったらその東洋的な文化のフィルターを通してまた違った形でその工事の存在がI expect too much 色付けられるっていう感じなんですよ。
Well, I said a mouthful. A dragon is a representation in your reality of a higher level, multidimensional being that has many facets, and therefore, like a hologram, those facets will be seen from different perspectives and will be represented in different ways because it is channeled through into your reality different facets for different belief systems, different perspectives. But it all goes back to one kind of being or one level of consciousness.
ドラゴンっていうのはすごく多次元的な存在でいろいろなその角度からそれを解釈することができるんですね。だからその一つの角度から解釈するとこういうふうに見えるでまた違う角度から解釈するとこういうふうに見えるっていうそういう違いが出てくるんですけどでもそれは元をたどっていくとその一つの高次元の存在一つの一なる高次元の存在なんですけどそういうフィルターの違いによって違って見えるんです。
Does that make sense?
Make sense. ありがとうございます。Thank you so much.
はい、どういたしまして。
Thank you.
Hello, Bashar.
And a you good day.
It's so nice to be in your presence again, old friend.
It is a joy for us to be in yours.
Now, my question is, can you help me get a perspective on what's going on in our crazy political system?
Yes,
You know?
I can tell you that what's going on in your crazy political system is that you are all crazy.
We are.
Now, to go into deeper detail, as we said a little while back in your terms of time, everything would change in the fall of 2016. I
Yes.
guess you now believe us.
Yes, this is our gift.
It is a gift. Because here's the way we framed it. Before that particular threshold crossing, many of you were floating down a gentle stream. Now suddenly you're hitting the rapids. Something very unexpected has happened, upset the apple cart, as you say, went in a direction you least expected. You're riding the rapids. All right, but remember this. If you learn how to maintain your balance in the rapids, you get downstream that much faster, don't you?
Yes.
So it's actually an opportunity for acceleration in the direction you actually prefer by riding the wave of what you don't prefer in a positive way. Because if something so unexpected can actually happen, anything is possible.
Yeah, okay.
And if you understand how to stay in that state, that frame of mind, that energy, and that attitude, then that wave, no matter how negative it might seem from one point of view, will push you along much faster as long as you maintain your bubble reality and contain within it the energy state that you prefer. Remember that what's happening now is literally, this is not a metaphor anymore, literally a splitting into different parallel realities.
Yes.
And so even though you might still be able to observe the other parallel realities and the people in them that might be representative of what you don't prefer, just because you can observe it doesn't mean it has any ability to affect you. It's like looking through a glass wall. You can still see it, but nothing can get through that wall to you unless you're the one that breaks the glass and says, come on in. Do you understand?
Yes.
So you're really beginning to truly see the splitting of the different parallel realities, and in the years to come, somewhere down the road, you will find less and less ability to find people in your reality that are not vibrationally compatible. with your reality. But right now, it's still a mixed bag. Right now, you can still observe all the different realities that your world is splitting off into, because you still are making up your mind about what you really prefer. You're still examining all your belief systems, and you're still creating definitions and giving meaning to these things and practicing how to give the meaning that you prefer. So they're all going to still be around you, because as you expand your consciousness, remember, you're going to see more of creation, not less of it. And when you see more of creation, you have to see more positive and more negative, because then it all becomes an equally balanced choice. Just because you may choose what you prefer doesn't mean you invalidate what you don't prefer. It's an equal choice. It's an equal path. It's a valid way to go. But you can say, no thank you, without invalidating that energy, because invalidating what you don't prefer is what sticks you to it, because you're giving it more importance than it needs to have. But when it's all neutral and you say, well, you know, you are wonderful, negative side, because you are, by contrast, showing me more clearly the positive that I prefer. Remember, you have a saying on your planet, a candlelight shines more brightly when it's surrounded by darkness. Yes?
Yes, indeed.
So if you use it that way and just keep focused on the light and use the dark to help illuminate it, to show you where that light is, then you will remain in the state of being you prefer. You will experience the things in your life that you need to experience that are correct for you. And it doesn't really matter what anyone else decides to do, because they're actually not really affecting your reality. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Does that
Very
help
much.
you?
Yes, it does. It just gets so seductive sometimes
But
to
that's
react to it.
a belief. Yes?
Okay, yeah.
That's a
yeah.
belief system. If you're saying that the negative side, the dark side, is so seductive,
Well, my reacting to it.
but the mind only reacts because you believe what you believe.
Oh,
You're
okay.
giving the mind something to react to.
Okay.
Remember, there is no such thing as an emotion in a vacuum.
Yeah.
You cannot feel anything until you have a definition of it. So when you have a feeling, that's your first clue. You must be defining and labeling something in a certain way in order to have the reaction or response that you're having. Okay. You can always then backtrack from your behavior, your thoughts, your emotions, to the question, what must I believe is true about myself in this situation in order to feel, think, behave the way I am?
Got it.
That will reveal the definition, and once you reveal the definition and bring it to light, then you can say, well, this makes no sense. Why am I buying into this definition? It doesn't really serve me. And then it's gone, because as soon as a definition makes no sense, you don't hold on to it. If you still do the same things, all that means is you haven't found the fundamental definition. Keep looking.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Does this help you?
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
You are very welcome. Oh, good day, good day.
Good day. I saw a rectangular shape floating in the ocean a few years ago, and then an orb in red in color came towards me, and then right after that I felt as if though I was taken down into the ocean, into a cave.
How exciting.
It was very exciting.
And
then
so?
I saw this blue like pulsating thing inside of the cave, and I knew to put my hands on it. And as soon as I put my hands on it, I was thrust back through the water and back onto land. And then I went underneath of the trees, and I saw the roots of the trees.
Guys?
And I was wondering if you would like to bring some clarity to the situation to me.
You experienced a dimensional shift that was instigated by making a contact with certain forms of consciousness that are capable of doing that and helping you project in those interdimensional ways so that you can experience your physical reality from a broader spectrum, from a broader perspective. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Was it fun?
It was very fun. And
All
it
right.
affected my life to where I feel as if though I'm now learning who I am and what I'm here for.
Many times, many of you will be given these kinds of, shall we say, triggers, these experiences where there is a certain vibration attached to it. From that point forward, understand that whatever that felt like at that moment is the frequency now to come from in life and act from in all the things that you do. You're given the frequency that is representative of a more holistic representation of yourself. So even when you remember what it felt like, even if it doesn't feel exactly the same again, know that you're in the correct state just by remembering what it felt like then. Because here's the trick. Remember, you cannot perceive what you're not the vibration of. So even the ability to remember what something felt like means you already are in the state that gives you the ability to remember that experience. So that's the trick. Just by remembering the experience and what it felt like, you're already in the state, even if it feels different. It's going to feel different because you're different, and you may need to apply it in a different way. But you can use moments like that, should they occur in your life, as markers and reminders of the energy state that is most you, and thus to act from that state in all the things that you do that are representative of your passion in life. Does that help you?
Yes, it helps very much. And also in southern Colorado, there's an area called the St. Louis Valley.
Yes.
And there seems to be a lot of occurrences there that would replicate helicopters from the early 1950s appearing to people. And I was wondering if you knew what it was that was occurring in the St. Louis Valley.
Well, it's a couple of different things going on in that vortex, because it is a strong vortex. It is a strong interdimensional gate. Now, a few of the things are actually interactions and visions of things that are, in your terms, going on in the 50s, because remember, everything actually exists all at once. And sometimes when the vibrational gates between different time frames as you create them in your consciousness sort of match or align or dissolve for a moment, you can peer into what seem to be other time frames. However, some of the other things that are going on in that area are organizations you might call deep cover organizations that exist sort of parallel to your governments that will often use outdated machinery to confuse the people that might see them. Because if somebody says, hey, I saw a helicopter from the 1950s, oh, well, you're nuts. You understand?
Yes.
And there's a few other things going on there that we will not get into at this time. Does that help?
It helps very much. Thank you.
You are welcome.
Good day, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
So on the way here, driving to Sedona yesterday, I came down with a really heavy fever.
Oh, how exciting.
Yeah.
What are you burning off?
That's what I was wondering if you could help enlighten.
Well, are you letting go of outdated, old belief systems, negative belief systems? Are you in the middle of that process? Or is that something that you are desiring to do?
I believe I am.
All right.
Constantly.
Well, sometimes you will accelerate the process that way, and with the extra energy you're using, it can translate into what you would experience as a fever.
I see.
You follow?
Yes.
It means you're receiving higher frequency energy. You may not be allowing it to flow as readily as it could. There may still be some resistance in there. And when you have resistance, let's say, for example, in a wire, what happens?
Shorts.
It heats up.
Heats up. Yeah.
So if there is resistance to the higher energy that you're making connections to, because you haven't necessarily cleaned your attic out yet of negative belief systems, fear-based belief systems that you're working on, letting go of, it can translate into the idea of some of these kinds of symptoms. It's a typical thing when you channel higher energies for these kinds of symptoms to come up. They'll abate when you allow yourself to let go of the things that don't work for you, streamline yourself, and allow the higher energies to flow through you more freely by becoming more superconductive. Yes?
I see.
Does that help?
It does. Thank you.
Anything else?
Yes. One other question in regard to language and reference points.
Yes.
It's my understanding when we dream, we could be on ships, we could have different experiences, we could be figuring things out, but our memories of these dreams are still sort of translated into our modern day or
Symbols that your physical mind can understand to explain or express it, yes.
Right. So what happens when we die? Are we able, or do we get lost, or what if there's...
Get lost?
Not
no,
lost,
you get found.
Get found. I guess reference point-wise, if we don't have the reference point or the language, how do we make sense of it all?
Well, remember that language is a secondary translation of the idea of the expression of concepts within consciousness. So you simply immediately have an understanding. You might call it telepathy, you can call it what you want, but you have an immediate recognition and understanding of concepts that come to you whole. There is no need for the translation through language anymore because you're getting the concept directly in your vibrational state. Because that's the first way that information is delivered, is simply through resonance, through vibration of energy.
I see.
Does that make sense?
It does. Is there a way to have that direct experience?
Of course,
in
you
a
have it
dream
all
state?
the time.
I guess
Have you
from-
never experienced the idea of what you people typically call an immediate gestalt or a download or an aha moment where you just get it?
Absolutely, yes.
That's what it's like. You just get it. It's just all there.
Are there any techniques we can do to just get the
Follow
dreams?
your highest passion to the best you are able with no insistence on the outcome, and everything that needs to happen for you will happen in the correct timing. That's the formula. That's the tool. Yes?
Yes, understood.
Does that help?
It does, thank you.
Thank you.
Good day, Bashar.
And you good day.
Okay, so my question is, when we're born into this reality, why is it that we forget our past lives? And how is it that we can remember more of our past lives?
All right, well, first of all, you forget your past lives because you don't have any. None of you do. Everything exists at once. The past is an illusion. What you're calling past lives, you call that because you're coming from a linear space-time frame of reference. The idea is that you make those connections to other simultaneous incarnations that exist exactly at the same time you do. When you come from the present, you make those connections. You say, I need to make this connection, I need to make this connection, I need to download information and experience from that person in that life, and that person in that life, and that person in that life. From my perspective, they may seem to have lived 300 years ago. From this perspective, they may seem to be living 300 years in the future, but these are the connections I need to make from the present in order to download the information I need to help me with my theme in this life, just as they may be doing the same with me to download information that helps them with the themes they're exploring in their lives. It all happens in the present. There's no such thing as a past life in that context. Do you understand?
Yes.
But the bigger question is answered this way. You forget so that you can remember from a new perspective. Because if you only exist in a timeless state, there's no change, there's no growth, there's no difference. You have to forget who you are to remember who you are from a new point of view, to discover something new about yourself. Because you see, the structure of existence never changes. It's eternal, it's infinite. It's always the same structure. It's existence itself. What changes, what expands creation, is that your perspective and experience of the structure keeps changing. Now I'm looking at it from this point of view. Now I'm having this experience of the structure. Now I'm seeing it this way. Now I am this perspective. That's what expands creation infinitely. The structure never changes. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So you have to forget who you are to remember who you are from another point of view, to add to the sense of who you are and grow. Yes?
Yes.
So the only perspective, let's say, that you could come from, where you could say, yes, this is my life, and that is my life, and that is my life, is from the Oversoul perspective, because all those lives are extensions, quite often, of the same Oversoul. But as a person, on this level, you are you. You have never been anyone else, and no one else ever has become you. Because the very idea of being an individuated person, persona, an individual soul, is that you are an individual and you remain so, because you're unique. That's a unique experience. You can create the experience as if you have had other lives, reincarnation, and so on and so forth. But that's not mechanically what's happening. All the lives already exist. But your consciousness can shift in ways to give you an experience as if you're remembering another life you had. But that's just a perspective of linear space-time. Is this making sense?
It is. But then how does karma carry over from...
It doesn't. That's the point. The belief that it does is what allows you to experience that it does. When you understand that it's just a belief and it's just about being in balance with who you prefer to be, then there is no karma. So in a sense, you have balanced your karma by getting to a point where you realize that there really isn't any karma and it's just about being in the state you prefer to be in. Does that make sense?
It does.
Now, you may also be referring to the idea that when you set up a theme in life to explore, you do create a kind of destiny. You do create a kind of momentum, certain kinds of things that you must explore as part of that theme. And if you want to refer to that as karma, you can. But it's not really coming from the past lives. It's coming from the present in the sense that it's simply representative of the challenges you need to face to explore this theme fully. So you work with the idea of destiny or karma and free will both together in a certain way. In spirit, you could say, this is the theme I'm going to explore, and there you are. That's the hallway you will walk down. Now, how you walk down that hallway, that destiny, that karma, that challenge, that theme you're exploring is up to your free will. You can run, you can walk, you can fly, you can jump, you can be happy, you can be sad, you can go upside down, right side up, you can go backwards, you can be forwards, you can go side to side, look in every door, ignore them all. That's your free will about how you will walk down that karmic hallway, that hall of destiny. But walk down that hallway, you will. Although, in your modern day and age, because you are expanding your consciousness more and more and more and more, one of the options that's now available to you is to actually change your theme without dying. You can finish one theme, you can finish one hallway, one destiny, one karmic route, and actually create another while you're still alive. More flexibility, more malleability, more freedom is now a choice on your palette, a new color for you to choose. Yes? Is this making some sense? Is this helping?
Yes. And I've got one more question.
I beg your pardon?
I've got one more question.
I beg your pardon?
I've been to a psychic before, and I'm always in awe in what they know because I always start without telling them anything. How is it? What is the mechanism of where they get their information?
Who?
Psychics.
Understand there is no such thing as a prediction of the future.
Yes.
They're simply sensitive people who are picking up on the vibrations of the present that seem most probable to keep going in the same direction if the momentum doesn't change. They're simply reading the energy of the present and letting you know what it is, so that if you like it, if you like where it's going, you can simply stay on that path. But if you don't prefer it, you can change the path, thus rendering the psychic prediction obsolete.
Yes.
The idea of being psychic is simply being sensitive to more energies, higher frequency energies, and translating them through, in a sense, into language that others can understand. It's like being some form of, shall we say, electronic instrument that can pick up on certain vibrations that you can read in the needle being the language. Yes?
Yes.
So that's all. But as you follow your passion, as you do that to the best you are able, as you do it with no insistence on a particular outcome, you increase your sensitivity to higher frequency information.
Yes.
It's as simple as that. An example of that idea is the way our society functions in pure synchronism. Everyone is exactly where they need to be when they need to be there, with whom they need